Mr. President, request permission to give parade rest to the troops. Troop Commander, kindly give tikas pahinga.
Tikas! Ha! Kalipunan, tikas. Ha!
Sa ating panauhing pandangal, our Commander-in-Chief at Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, His Excellency President Benigno Simeon Aquino III, former President Fidel Valdez Ramos, Vice President Jejomar Binay, Executive Secretary Honorable Paquito Diaz, I'm sorry sir, Paquito Ochoa. Ang kalihim na tanggulang pambansa ng Pilipinas, Honorable Voltaire Tobera Gasmin and Ma'am Rodora Gasmin, DILG Secretary Honorable Mar Rojas, DOTC Secretary Honorable Joseph Emilio Abaya, Congresswoman from Hulu, Honorable Noran Saidula, the incoming Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Emmanuel Bautista and Mrs. Bernadetta Bautista, His Eminence Bishop Leopoldo Tumulak, Lieutenant General Noel Caballos, the Vice Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Gregorio Macapagal, the Deputy Chief of Staff, the former Secretary of National Defense, the former Chief of Staffs, the AP, excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, other members of the Cabinet Secretaries present here this morning, other honorable heads of national government agencies, members of the Foreign Armed Force Attaché, the Major Service Commanders, General Larry de la Cruz, Vice Admiral Jose Alano, and their ladies, Chief of the Philippine National Police, Police Director General Alan Purisima, the Commandant, Philippine Coast Guard, Rear Admiral Rodolfo Aisorena, Unified Commanders, and their ladies, our enlisted personnel, led by the AP Sergeant Major, First Chief Master Sergeant Guillermo Francisco. I would like to recognize my families present here this morning. My mother, Asuncion, please stand up to be recognized. My brothers and sisters, please stand up to be recognized. My wife, Rose. And of course, my daughter, Patricia, please stand up. Other relatives, the members of the PMA Class 79 and their ladies, please stand up. And members of PMA Class 81, please stand up. The members of Lucena High School, Batch 74, present here this morning, please stand up. Other guests, friends of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, other leaders of non-government organizations, our partners from the media, friends, ladies and gentlemen, umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ako'y lubos na nagpapasalamat sa pagkakataon at biyaya na ibinigay sa akin ng Poong May Kapal sa loob ng 38 taon at magkahalong pagpakumbaba at pagmamalaki akong humaharap ngayon sa ating mga kababayan at sa ating magigiting na kawal sa pagtatapos ng aking military career. A retirement speech is usually one of nostalgia and remembering, and I am tempted to recall the last 38 years of my life with highlights and sentimental stories worth recalling. My military career, however, was adequately summarized as I took the line a few moments back. Instead, I would like to begin by looking back to the time when I was about to embark my active commissioned service, and thereafter relate this to my thoughts at this point in time when I am about to end it. After all, a military officer on the brink of retirement can only find contentment when he is convinced that he will leave the service better than when he first entered it. For it is through this comparison of the past and the present where an officer can say to himself that the journey and the pain and sacrifices were well worth it. Ako ay naging opisyal sa panahon ng digmaan at namulat ako sa halos pang-araw-araw na balita at insidente ng gulo sa ating kapuluan. Isang panahon na ang sukatan ng tagumpay ay ang bilangan ng kung ilan ang nalagas sa hanay ng mga kaaway. Ang ating walang sawang pinagtutuunan ng pansin ay ang insurhensiya at ang kahandaan para sa ibang peligro sa ating seguridad ay ating pinapabukas na lamang. Namulat ako sa panahon ng martial law kung saan ang tiwala ng mamayan sa kanyang sundalo ay hindi siguro. At ang respetong ipinapakita ay dahil sa takot sa armas. Namulat ako sa panahon kung saan ang pagkakaisa ng ating hukbo ay pinahina ng mga sigalot at iba't ibang isyo na di naglaon ay nagbigay daan sa panawagan mula sa ating hanay para sa malawakang reforma. Today, the AP stands at critical crossroads in a very important chapter in the history of our nation. The national government has made tangible progress in the peace negotiations with the different internal threats, and the hope arising from the signing of the framework agreement on the Bangsamoro and the closure agreement with the CPLA portends the promise of an end to the cycle of conflict and violence we faced as lieutenants. We have registered a lot of gains, both physical and non-tangible results, in the overall implementation of the internal peace and security plan. In my early years, we have been accustomed to seeing maps that only indicate the reported presence of insurgents and their activities. Destroy the enemy was the name of the game. But today, the paradigm shift in bayanihan provides for a different way of viewing the role of the AFP in internal security. It brings to the national and local levels the need for a common understanding of the nature of the conflict, to impress our fellow stakeholders that winning the peace is a collective effort. And in this respect, the partnership we had forged with different sectors manifests renewed trust and respect for the armed forces of the Philippines and their cooperation with our endeavors. Our attention and our capabilities have also shifted from an internally focused state of minds towards the attainment of a credible deterrence posture, as the AAP prepares to transition to its traditional mandate for external defense. Mechanisms for feedback are in place, and technology has opened channels for moral and welfare issues. While this new media can also sometimes circumvent established systems, by and large, they have been effective avenues to air concerns and disseminate command information down the line to consolidate our ranks. On a higher plane, the economy is on the rise, and the country is slowly but surely taking its place in the international stage. Global and regional developments have shifted attention to our part of the world, and the eyes of the many are upon us as we find ourselves in the maritime front line. As a result thereof, the AAP Capability Upgrade Program, recently boosted by the passage of AAP Modernization Act of 2012, has been pursued at a pace that has buoyed optimism in our ranks and generated interest from many nations, both from a capability acquisition view and a partnership alliance perspective. Climate change has made the geophysical location of our country more vulnerable to and our armed forces has consistently shown its readiness to be called upon 24/7 for humanitarian assistance and disaster response. Our soldiers have remarkably exhibited their duties in ensuring that our country is kept secured and economically thriving, whether in times of disasters and calamities, in peacekeeping and in alliance building, both local and foreign, in community building through Pamana and other IPSP Bayanihan projects, or in defending our people against armed threats. We have achieved tangible results. We have accomplished much in our trust across all defense mission areas. And I can truly say that with these humble contributions of the AAP to the peace and development programs of the national government, the Filipino people have every reason to look to the future with optimism and renewed vitality. With this, may I have the honor to present to our Commander-in-Chief my tour of duty report. With the prospects of a bright future ahead, the continuing challenge is sustaining the forward momentum and not sliding back. And this requires constant vigilance and reaffirmation from every member of the AAP. While the IPSP promotes a whole-of-nation approach in achieving our internal peace objectives, the AAP, as an armed force, must not lose its tactical edge, for it is in addressing the armed capability of threats where we can contribute best to the desired end state. In the furtherance of security sector reform, I would also like to emphasize that battles are fought not only in the front lines, but also in our own headquarters and workplaces to realize a professional, efficient, and morally upright military institution. All too often, internal reform is much more as institutional and cultural barriers have prevented us from choosing the harder right. But change we must. The AAP's earnestness in stamping out malpractices that can potentially tarnish the reputation of the AAP is essential to our national objectives, as the government strives to achieve a more efficient, productive, and equitable system, and the progress of our country's economic and security stability depends largely on an armed forces that is trusted and respected by our allies and partners, and an armed forces that inspires pride and generates hope in our people and our institutions. I have much to be thankful for in my military career, foremost of which are experiences that made my life fuller and richer. It is also a Thanksgiving Day for me and my family, as reaching mandatory requirement and having the luxury of being able to enjoy the fruits of one's life is a great blessing in itself. I face my retirement not with thoughts of what might have or should have been. I am contented in the fact that I have done my share in furthering the noble mission of our armed forces. Indeed, I can say that our people can enjoy our way of life under the blanket of democracy and freedom, in an atmosphere painstakingly guarded by the proud and dedicated soldiers whom I've had the highest honor of leading. I know that it will not be easy to leave the institution. The long years in uniform has given me more than my fair share of pain and frustration. But it has also given me opportunities, friends, and experiences that I know I could never have gained elsewhere. These blessings will forever be among the greatest paybacks of my years in the military service. I face my retirement not with the thoughts of what might have or should have been. I thank the God Almighty for me from the inherent dangers of surgery and for all the blessings that He has showered on me and my family. This testimonial in my honor and the recognition bestowed upon me is not solely mine. For what I am today is the convergence of the contributions of many who guided me and supported me throughout my service. Allow me at this point to acknowledge the people to whom I am greatly indebted for my humble success. To our President and Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Benigno Simeon Aquino III, I give my utmost gratitude for being given this opportunity to hold a greater responsibility for the AFP and the country. Thank you for your trust and confidence in my capabilities and for the honor to serve the Filipino people. To our Secretary of National Defense, Honorable Walter T. Gasmin, for the guidance and mentorship you have provided me as I perform my duties as Chief of Staff. I am deeply grateful for your support throughout my tour. To the AAP family of the General Headquarters, the Major Services, Unified Commands, and APSUS, it has been a great honor and privilege to have served you. To all my classmates in the PMA class of 1979 and their ladies for their loyal support, friendship, and prayers, and to my former commanders for their patience and wisdom which lead to my personal and professional triumphs. To the officers, enlisted personnel, and civilian employees of the units I served, and to my administrative staff, security personnel, and aides for your personal sacrifices and devotion for my well-being. And last but not the least, I would like to pay tribute to my family, my constant source of inspiration. I would like to thank my parents, my mother Asuncion, and my father, the late Corporal Freedom Del Llosa, a PEPTOC veteran with the 14th Battalion Combat Team, for instilling in me the values that held me in good stead as I nurtured my dream of serving in uniform. I also thank siblings and relatives for their support to my family, most especially in the times I was away to fulfill my duties and responsibility. And most especially, I thank my wife, Mary Rose, and our children, Tad, Benjo, and Tricia, for standing by me all these years and for always being there to support me as I pursued my career as a soldier of this country. Walter Lippmann said, and I quote, "The final test of a leader is that he leaves behind him on other men the conviction and the will to carry on," unquote. Truth be told, my apprehension is the continuity of advocacies that I have painstakingly fought for, at times sacrificing goodwill and friendships, and even personal bonds. I strive to leave a legacy not in any structure or motto, but in causes that reflect my values and simple aspirations. And I am very confident that the commitment to mission, the welfare of our men and women, and the promotion of security sector reforms will find a champion in General Emmanuel Bautista. Manny, it is in you that the Commander-in-Chief has bestowed his trust and confidence to lead the AAP in this defining period of transition. I have been a witness to your leadership, your own reform initiatives, your fighting will, and your genuine concern for the men and women of the AAP. Congratulations. I wish you all the best, and I have the full faith that the AAP is in very good and capable hands. The time has come for me to bid you farewell as I face civilian life. The virtues and discipline that the years in uniform have embedded in my being will continue to guide me as I journey to this new chapter. But even in retirement, I shall proudly watch for the continued march of the AAP to the future, and I will keep you in my prayers. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas.
Mga sampalaw! To!
I will now read my relinquishment of command. 17 January 2013, Office Orders Number 02, Relinquishment. Pursuant to Section 1, General Orders Number 71, General Headquarters Armed Forces of the Philippines, dated 15 January 2013, I hereby relinquish the duties and responsibilities as Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines effective this date and assigned in your presence.
The outgoing Chief of Staff will now order the AFP Sergeant Major, First Chief Master Sergeant Guillermo P. Francisco, for the lowering of his personal flag.
Sergeant Major, lower my flag.
The personal flag of a military leader symbolizes his distinguishing mark of authority and leadership. On this occasion, the Armed Forces of the Philippines Chains of Command, the lowering of the personal flag of the outgoing Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines signifies handing over of the responsibilities attached to his position. On the other hand, this denotes the end of a brilliant and vigorous military career. The encased personal flag of the outgoing Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines will now be presented by the AFP Sergeant Major.
Sir, we have personal flag, sir. Lieutenant General Manny Bautista, I am now ready to be relieved.
The incoming Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines, Lieutenant General Emmanuel T. Bautista, will read and sign the orders for his assumption of command as the Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines.
General Headquarters Armed Forces of the Philippines, Office of the Chief of Staff, Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City, 17 January 2013. Office Orders Number 03, Assumption. Pursuant to Section 2, General Orders Number 71, General Headquarters Armed Forces of the Philippines, dated 15 January 2013, I hereby assume the duties and responsibilities of Acting Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines effective this date.
We shall now proceed with the turnover of command symbol to be presided by His Excellency Benigno Simeon Aquino III.
The saber symbolizes trustworthiness, steadfastness, and responsibility. This saber signifies military